Hi, this is Maralyn, and this is not the usual Maralyn's Musing, but it seemed important for me. I've had the sense over the last days that it was important for me to add my voice to the conversation that's happening around the U.S. midterm elections, which will be tomorrow. And that came up for a number of reasons, and I tried to do it. I thought of writing yesterday, and it just didn't flow. And then it was a gorgeous day outside, and I wanted to do a video outside, and the technical difficulties, I couldn't figure it out. And then today I woke up, and the idea was still there. So I thought, okay, just inside, here goes. Let's just make a quick video. Because in the last week or so, I have held space for people on both sides of the political spectrum who are really afraid of the outcome they want not happening. And the truth is that while voting is important, and if you're eligible to vote, I hope you do, our responsibility doesn't actually end with the voting, or even when the winners are declared. Although that's the way we've often held it. We've held, oh yay, my person has, or people have been elected, and now everything will be wonderful, they'll have to fix it. Or, oh no, the people I wanted to be elected aren't elected, and everything's going to go, like my daddy would say, to hell in a handcart. And it seems to me that how we live in that uncertainty is really important. It takes courage to slow down and turn towards and be with that kind of uncertainty. But when we can do that, we're in a much better space to act intentionally. And what I hope we're waking up to, and believe we have the opportunity here, is to step up and step in. And I read Tad Hargrave, a couple of pieces of his writing in the last couple of days, and I want to share, I'm just going to scroll here to his words. I want to share some of his words. He says, conflicts, grief, and loss worked through together are the crucible in which true community is formed. It's the initiation into an adult community that most of us would rather avoid, but in avoiding it, our community never grows up. And I think that's the space that has been, he speaks there to the, what I really hold is possible for us all together. I am certainly not an expert in any way on the U.S. Constitution, but I do know it starts with we the people. And as well-intentioned as the men who crafted that undoubtedly were, so much is different now. What's possible in regard to our ability to travel and communicate across the miles, and really in our level of awareness of the impact of our words and actions on each other, on our consciousness as humans, is enormously different than it was back then. That we the people is different today in countless ways. And each one of us has a unique contribution to offer in how we be together. And to quote Tad Hargrave again, this was from a different piece. I just happened to come across my computer, my Facebook feed actually. He says, we is an achievement. We can't be imposed. We doesn't exist because you think it should. We is something tangible and real. We is something to be courted with diligence and effort. We can't be achieved if the other is not respected. We can't be achieved without the space between us being maintained and honored. That space is the place in which our relationship happens. And for me, that's the opportunity before us all. Not just here in the United States, but as humans on this big blue marble that we live on together. And so it felt important for me not only to share these thoughts with you here, but to actually open space for a special At Home with Maralyn and Friends call tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I will post below this the details for registering for that. If you're not part of this community and don't normally join us, I hope you feel free to do that. But whatever you do, just know that I am holding this space open for us to come together and share our thoughts and hopes and fears and dreams and aspirations for how we, first of all, be with the anxiety that's in us, and then as we can be present to that, hold space and take action in creating change, in creating a more equitable and just society, so that all of we, the people of our world, can live together. And I know that might sound kind of Pollyanna-ish, but for me, we start one heart at a time, one moment at a time, one action at a time. And I invite you to join me if that feels true for you. Otherwise, if you can vote, go vote. If you can't, hold space for the greatest possibility that we can imagine in the world of our best imagination. Thanks for taking this time with me. Perhaps hear you on the call tomorrow. Otherwise, be well, and until next time, take care. Bye for now.